Buckle up, baby, because today's video is going to get a little spicy, but I think it's a really important topic that is going to benefit everyone and really get you thinking about how you're getting in your own way in life. Now, as you guys know, I have been a life coach for over 3 years now. I have a specialization in ADHD, but what I'm going to talk about today is relevant for all of us. And I'm speaking specifically about myself because I caught myself doing the very thing that drives me nuts when other people do it to me. So let's get into it. But before we do, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Karen McGill. I'm an ADHD coach and creator, and I'm here for the busy, ambitious brains who want to do awesome things, but they keep getting in their own way with this specific phrase. Y'all, I've been on YouTube for over 3 years now, and the majority of feedback and comments I've gotten on most of the content I've put out there has been wonderful and encouraging, and I am so grateful for it all. Thank you. And then, of course, there's the trolls, which every channel gets, and you just delete and block. That's fine. But there's this one style of comment that has really gotten under my skin and made me think twice about anything that I share as it relates to personal growth or doing better or creating a better life for yourself. And that is the must be nice comment. Because when somebody comments that, the implied statement behind must be nice is that, oh, it's nice that you were able to have that, but nobody else can, including myself. It would be nice to have whatever you've accomplished, but I can't have that. And whenever I get those comments, it feels like a sucker punch. And I have to go back and watch the video that it's associated with. Even if it's on a video that I posted 3 years ago, I immediately have to drop everything and go back to that video and watch it to make sure that I haven't, sounded braggadocious or weird about something I've said. And 9 times out of 10, I can't even identify in the video what it is they're saying must be nice about. Because there's nothing particularly braggadocious about what I'm saying. I might just be talking about a framework or an idea or a possibility of how you can do something better. And clearly that triggers somebody to say, must be nice, which means that yes, they would like to have that thing, but for whatever reason, they believe they can't. And I'll get into more of that in a second. But what I will say is that whenever I see those statements, it makes me want to censor what I'm talking about on this channel. My first reaction is to make my content or what I'm talking about or myself a little bit smaller. Make your ideas a little less aspirational so that you can be more relatable and you'll get less of these must be nice comments. That is always my first reaction. And then I have to remind myself that I'm not here to put myself in a little box so I can be relatable to absolutely everyone. Some people are going to find me relatable and some people are not, and that's totally okay. I can still only be me. But in full transparency, I will admit that I've given a lot more time and energy than I ever should have to this must be nice concept. And it wasn't until a couple of weeks ago, I was scrolling Instagram as one does, and one of the gals that I follow, her name is Patience. Her channel is called Trailer Park Pretty. The whole story behind Patience is that she came from nothing and she's worked very hard to create a life for her 2 kids. She was a single mom. Now she's remarried. Now they're a family of 5. The beauty of her channel is the way she celebrates her growth and how grateful she is for everything that she has. All of us have so much, and yet all we can think about is what we don't have. But Patience focuses on what she does have. And I just absolutely love her vibe. But she also gets snarky comments from time to time, and she'll make videos about them. So she'll put the comment on the video, and then she will be gracious and lovely in her response to the snarky comment. And one of them recently was a must be nice comment in response to a video she had done about saying that, whenever she's at home, she's in her pajamas. Somebody said, must be nice. And then they went on to talk about her in her pajamas and what she feeds her husband for dinner. And it made me realize that no matter what you're talking about and however mundane it might be, there is somebody out there that's going to have a snarky, must be nice reaction to it, whether they share that with you in the comments or just think it themselves. So here I am thinking about these must be nice people until the universe decided it was going to teach me a very cheeky lesson. So the backstory on this is I'm part of an entrepreneur community, and it's a basic membership where you get content and, access to the community, blah, blah, blah. But within this entrepreneur membership, there's also tiers where you can pay more and get more support. And the top tier is this year-long mastermind that you can be a part of that's $30,000. So very recently, one of the leaders of this membership was talking about this top level mastermind for $30,000 on a podcast. And I'm listening to it. And my immediate reaction as I'm listening to this podcast is $30,000 for a mastermind? Must be nice. And the minute I had that thought, I had to catch myself. And it was like, whoa, Karen, you too can find yourself in that must be nice energy. So don't think yourself all that high and mighty. So I had to eat a huge chunk of humble pie in that moment, but that's not the most interesting part. The most interesting part came later that same week when I was listening to an audiobook on a walk. It was 10X is Easier Than 2X, written by Dan Sullivan and Ben Hardy. And at the end of each chapter, the two of those two would have a dialogue. And one of the chapters is called Want What You Want. And the whole premise there is very often we want certain things, but we don't go after them. We don't give ourselves permission or license to go after what we want because we can't either justify it to ourselves or we can't justify it to the people around us. So we don't go after what it is we want. So after that chapter, Dan and Ben are having a little dialogue about the concept. And in that dialogue, Dan says something that blows my mind. He says, people that don't give themselves license to go after what they want are the people that tend to say, must be nice. And I was like, whoa, isn't that true? Because when you think about it, if it wasn't something that you wanted, you wouldn't be saying must be nice. But the reason you're saying must be nice is because you want it, but for whatever reason, you're not allowing yourself to go after it. And whether you actually achieve the thing is really not the point. It's more of a bitterness that you're watching somebody else go after something that you truly want for yourself, but you're not going after it for, again, whatever reason. And when I heard that statement, I immediately thought of my reaction to the $30,000 mastermind. And when I thought about it, I realized that, yes, I would truly love to invest more in my own growth. But for a number of reasons, I can't possibly justify that much money. And maybe that's a good decision. Maybe it's a bad decision. That's not the point. The point is there's something that I want to do that I'm unwilling to give myself license to even consider. And the beautiful thing about that moment of awareness was that I was able to see into my own heart about something that was important to me that I wasn't addressing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be addressed in that specific way. It just opens a dialogue that you can have with yourself about what it is you truly want to go after and what you're not letting yourself go after and why you're not letting yourself go after it. So coming full circle on these comments around must be nice, the takeaway for me as a creator is I'm not going to let myself be limited by the things that other people feel triggered by because they're not allowing themselves to go after what they want. But the more important thing here is an invitation to think about the areas where that sort of triggering emotion comes up for you and just have like an honest dialogue with yourself about why that's coming up and what is it that you're denying in yourself that you can give yourself permission to go after. And that doesn't mean that your goal has to look like anybody else's result. It just means that it's a good opportunity for you to look internally at what your intrinsic desires and motivations are. Because when you go after those, your intrinsic motivations, you tend to have a lot more satisfaction in life overall, whether or not you actually achieve the goal. So I hope I've given you some food for thought in this video. It was definitely a very eye-opening experience for me, and I'm going to leave it there. So thank you guys for being here, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.